What up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday thing. This thing we do every Thursday, unless we are attempting to do one of these podcasts live in the middle of nowhere in Oregon and lose internet service, and we just managed to not be able to pull it off. I gotta be real, we made every attempt and it just wasn't happening, and it felt like the further we drove, the less internet we had, and man, did it get
Yep.
desolate and crazy. Um, so yeah, that just didn't work out, and we're sorry. Those who hopped in and tried to make it work, we appreciate you. Um, it didn't work. But again, we tried for you because we love you. Warranty ain't gonna be here. I mean, whatever. We are joined by producer Jordan. Jordan, how you doing, bud? You and I just got back from an epic road trip, and then you immediately got back surgery. So, like, what happened with that, bud?
I sure did. I sure did. Let me tell you, I can feel my legs again. My back feels great. My muscle that they went through for the surgery is a little sore, but that's kind of to be expected. You had stuck a 12 gauge needle through the back to get to it. Um, but I feel much better. I'm actually like walking around completely straight, not needing any type of cane for sure. Like my legs don't feel like they're gonna randomly buckle anymore. It's
That's cool
awesome.
because you did forget your cane in in Oregon.
I did. It's our I did. We
Alex,
got so
who's in
excited
the
about the
chat,
car.
he's actually in the live chat. We did forget. He hit us
Yeah.
up. He's like,
Yeah.
"You need this?"
Yeah, he's like, "You need this?" I'm like, "Nah, I gotta yeah, I got an extra one at home." But, yeah, some back surgery, was Wednesday morning. I was there for maybe about 2 hours. They put me under. What they did instead of cutting open my back and cutting out a bunch of my disc material out, what they did was they put, like, a 12 gauge needle. I don't know if that's the exact size, but that's what the hole roughly in my back kinda looks like. And they put this big literal or it's a small auger. Like think of what you would use to snake out your drain.
Okay.
Literally an auger and pulled out some of the disc material from the center of my disc to help deflate it. That way the disc would suck back into my vertebrae.
And how did that seem to work out?
Dude, so far great. I literally woke after they woke me back up. I could immediately felt my legs again, and but they did tell me, "Hey, don't do anything crazy. Don't go drive a car after this, or don't go immediately lifting weights. Like,
Yeah,
take your time getting back into the groove of things." But they told me it's about like only like a week or two recovery time.
I got to be real. That first night we were driving around with a bug eye around Eugene, Oregon. You were
Yeah,
pretty. It was
I,
rough. You had no sleep because you were a moron.
I was. Hey, I was working on something for us. Okay.
That's true, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I am really happy to hear that because you were in rough shape, and I got to be real. I was wondering when you were it was always near the end of the day. You could tell you were getting pretty uncomfortable in the car. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's why I kinda just drove in the morning, but that one morning after Denver, I slept on an air mattress and that kinda like, "Hey, dude," I'm like, you need to take the first shift." I'm like, "I have to get used to this pain because the mattress deflated a little bit,
yeah.
which caused my back not to be perfectly straight on the mattress, and it completely fucked me up in the morning."
Well,
Um, and like you said, that first night, yeah, sketchy, being super tired, and then, like, my legs, like, literally was giving out, like, I could not keep the clutch in long enough to actually make a proper shift.
I mean the clutch is kind of whatever.
The
We'll get
the
into that.
clutch was ass anyways, but, like,
Let's
add that to the fact that you can't really push it in to begin with,
so
kinda sucked.
real quick, Randy put our thumbnail together. I really appreciate you, Randy. Now, if you guys are listening, do a solid. This is something I haven't been doing enough of lately. We need likes, we need follows, we need comments. Okay. If you're listening on YouTube or something like that, like it, use that weird little hype thing that really does a lot. Spotify, drop us a like, drop us a comment, it goes a long way. Spotify numbers are kind of the ones we use the most, and share this. it does us a ton when you share this. We can do a lot more cool content the more you share this. Basically the numbers got to look good for them allowing me to keep having this party. Okay. But help us out, please. All right. So the last, I don't know, what are we, 6 weeks or so? I kept hinting towards I wanted another damn bug eye. I just wanted one. I didn't really care. Um, Me and the wife started having conversations about like other cars that we thought about getting. This conversation really came up um when we were at Tail of the Dragon, and I'm like, I really want to. We were driving a GR Corolla, and I loved it, but she the whole time she's like, "This is great, but let's be real, you'd rather be in a bug eye." And I'm like, "God damn it, you're right." And the whole time I'm driving this, the whole time I'm just going, "Yeah, you're right. I'd rather be in a bug eye." Um, and Fast forward a little bit, I kind of got the okay to kind of poke around for another project, but I really wanted to find the right one. And I got to be real, I was expecting the hunt to take like 6 months. And but like any proper ADHD person who goes down the rabbit hole of hyper focusing, once I started looking, I couldn't stop. And this brought me to this weird little ad on Facebook Marketplace in outside of Eugene, Oregon. Okay. Like I found this car, and it was like exactly what I was looking for, and it was a little more expensive than what we originally wanted to do, but so much of the stuff that I wanted to do was already done. But this was sketchy. Um because it was so far away, it made it, any normal person would have had the car shipped, okay? But then that would have went sight unseen and this thing would have shown up, and if it was a disaster, I would have been pissed, okay? Or they wouldn't have looked that far away in general, okay? I cannot recommend anybody doing what we did here, but I will say I have enough of a support crew. I have enough friends around the country that pretty much any problem we needed to solve, I could have solved. We actually thought there was going to be an issue, and my support crew came through really hardcore, and it ended up not being anything. It was a nothing burger, but um, I'm kind of unique in the way that I knew enough people. I knew PRE was kind of out there fairly close. I just did an interview on the podcast with them. Smedia wasn't too far away from there. A little further out was Dom. And not only that, Alex, the guy we were buying the car from, honestly kind of had his shit together. Eh, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend he's Subaru God by any means, but he was very upfront with everything that he said, and he knew plenty enough to be dangerous and what to look for if I asked him to look for it, and he made me feel like this was possible. So I decided that this was the answer. Now, I found this car, and we had some decisions to make. One, it needed tires, and it needed it bad. And it's frickin' January. So we're about to drive back through Colorado, and I'm like, dude, we're 100% gonna run into at least some snow. Now, normally I would have sent. I hate all seasons, so I would have probably put summer tires on it. But at least once or twice a year here in Tennessee, we get some real shit weather. And I had it in the back of my brain. One, I knew I wasn't gonna keep these wheels. Okay. Um, so I was like, I think I'm gonna send them a really good set of snow tires. So I sent them some Nokian Hapa Kalito, whatever, some badass Nokian tires that I can't pronounce. Let me tell you, that saved our ass. I'm so happy I made that decision. Oh my
Dude,
God.
it was the best decision you could have made
Holy
for
shit.
this trip.
Now, don't get me wrong. I had a guy on my Facebook, "Well, how do they handle in the dry?" Well, like shit, they're snow tires. What do you want? Are they vague? Yeah. Are the sidewalls stiff? No. They're even a
Very
little
gummy.
louder. Yeah, they're snow tires. I mean, I knew what I was getting. Um,
They were some very, very serious snowshoes.
I knew exactly what I was sending to him, and but I gotta be real. When shit hit the fan, we were gods.
Yes.
So, um, what this car is, okay, and I had some things. I had a checklist of stuff that I was hell bent on. Okay, these things it had to check these boxes. One, I was only okay with a few colors. Okay. World Rally Blue, white, or yellow. And I would have even did a Sedona Red Pearl if I would have found the right one and it was clean. Okay. But I gotta be real, I kind of had my heart set on World Rally Blue. It's the only color I've never owned. And this was my eighth bug eye. I counted them up. This was 8. Okay. And I'd never had a World Rally Blue one. I've had a stack of freaking silver ones and a couple of everything else, but uh I really wanted a world, and one of the biggest reasons I wanted World Rally Blue was my idea for this car. Okay. After I found this vehicle, I'll explain what all that is later. But I wanted kind of like the most Subaru-y Subaru you can get in World Rally Blue. And what I plan on doing it with it is like it is big Subaru. Okay, there's no denying that a World Rally Blue Bug Eye is not like the most damn Subaru you can get in the US. It just is. Um so I again scouring Facebook Marketplace, I find this World Rally Blue Bug Eye. Boom, it's got the right color. Second, there's no rust. I did not want a car with rust. And then those were the big ones, okay? And I wanted a sedan, no wagons. I'm sorry, nothing against a wagon. I would love a wagon, whatever, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted a sedan. Mostly because I want to at least be able to put 255s under it. And that's such a pain in the ass with a wagon. It's just not worth the fight. So, it checked all the boxes. It was clean. Like the paint's not by any means perfect, but no rust. Okay. World Rally Blue. And then it either had to be dirt freaking cheap. Okay. Or it had to be done in a way, it had to be modified in a way that I was okay with. So this one, I will say for a bug eye was a little on the expensive side, but what was done to it was about right. I got it at a very correct price. What this car essentially is a '04 STI, wiring harness and everything. Control arms, DCCD, like with all the wiring and everything. The engine, the drive-by-wire throttle body, like everything. It is an '04 STI shoved into an '02 WRX. Okay. The entire car came over, including the front doors. It's still got the OEM STI stickers on it. That's what this car is. Brakes, everything. Even the climate control on the inside, which kind of has its own weirdness we're still trying to figure out. But it is in essence what this vehicle is. Okay. Which is funny because when I was showing snippets of the vehicle, it was throwing people all off as to what it was because they saw the gauge cluster and they're like, well, it's an STI, but then they saw the steering wheel and they're like, it's a WRX. And it was so funny. But that's essentially what the car is. It's got some basic stuff done to it, which is cool. When I went out there, I thought it had a larger turbo on it, and I was very relieved to find out when I got there it didn't. It's just it's looks like it's got a later model VF, but I can't quite see exactly what it is, but I'm thinking it's like a
Yeah, it looks
VF48 or
like
something.
it looks like a 48 or something.
Yeah. OEM top mount. It's still on side feeds. This is very much an '04 STI, so there's something I gotta take care of. Suspension was interesting. It's on a set of really, really old spec H&R coilovers, which is it. They've got a very interesting spring rate. It's an 8K front, 4K rear, which explains a lot of why the car handles the way it does. Um, it's already got a roll center adjustment kit on it, but it doesn't have an anti-lift kit. The header stock, it's got a full Cobb turbo back, which is nice, catted turbo back. Looks like it's been tuned using open source, though it came with a V2 access port, which sometimes connects, sometimes doesn't. And it looks like it's an access port for an '08 and newer, so it's even more confusing. I don't know why we have it, but we have it. Um, but Other than that, it's still got mostly WRX interior, which I personally prefer. It doesn't have the blue carpeting. It's got WRX seats, which again, I think are significantly more comfortable than the STI seats. It's got kind of the dark blue checkered pattern, door panels and stuff. It's solid. So it's, again, pretty much exactly what I was looking for. I sent him the couple of issues. One, it needed tires, and two, the headlights were doing something funky. Thankfully he got that sorted before I got there. And three, it looked like somebody either strapped the car down or tried to pull it out of a ditch using the rear sway bar. The rear sway bar was bent. This actually freaked me out a little bit, but it ended up being a non-issue. So I sent him tires. I sent him a brand new white line 24 mil adjustable rear sway bar. And he installed that stuff. It had JDM headlights in it, but they weren't working. I'm assuming it was some wiring issues or whatever. I ended up being able to take the JDM headlights, but he did throw in some like stock O2 WRX headlights to get us home, which was awesome. And yeah, all this for I'm not gonna basically under 9K. Okay. I had to buy the tires and the sway bar and stuff like that. So let's call 10K on my end to get the car. Again, this is unknown. Also the short block was built by a company out there I'd never heard of. Okay. That had me worried. But he did send me some video of the car running and it sounded fine and it runs okay and does what it's supposed to do. Now the one thing it did do, and it almost like I was freaking out about this, is he kind of got some stuff together and he was test driving it and he went out for a test drive and he's like, hey man, this thing started throwing some crazy codes when I went and tried to do a poll to make sure everything was good. It has to do with the throttle pedal. And I'm like, I bet you he doesn't have a throttle stop in there. But the codes he gave me, and he's like, well, I think the throttle stop is in there. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, because if you go past 100% on a 32-bit ECU car with the throttle pedal, if it sees past 100%, it freaks out. It goes total limp mode, loses its mind. And so we went out there. I'm thinking, holy shit, I'm going to need to go find a throttle pedal. We had one coming into the dealership. I had dudes looking for them locally. Had a bunch of this shit all together ready to go. I get there expecting this is going to be a complete shit show. We take it for a quick spin, just to, kind of assess the situation. The car's fine. There's no throttle stop in it. Okay. Sweet. We can definitely drive home on that. Um,
Yeah, just don't take it past 100%,
yeah, just
which
well, I mean, and
somehow we didn't.
we didn't because I got to be real. We wanted to be real nice to this thing to make sure we made it home.
We did.
So we at no point went past 100% throttle. Not that we didn't like hit the gas a decent amount a few
Oh, yeah,
times,
I was
and
gonna say we hooned in
there was
a couple times.
shenanigans, but it
There were some shenanigans.
especially the closer we got to home, the more the shenanigans got. When I was in areas where I knew I had support, like we weren't screwing around in Boise, Idaho, let's put it that way. But when we were in Colorado and we were right near Flatirons and my boy Tyler and all those guys, like if something were to happen in that area, I'm gonna have some help. You know what I mean? So, um, either way, we take car out for a spin and it's fine. So, we change some quick stuff out, shake some hands, exchange some money, even swap out the rear bumper because he had two of them. He's putting together another bug eye himself, also World Rally Blue. I'm assuming that's where all the interior and some of those like STI bits went. Um, didn't look too much into it. I gotta be real, still to this day, and I love you, Tyler, but I don't understand why you didn't sell the other one and sold the one you did. Like I don't get why you did that because the one you sold has all the good parts in it. And there's some stuff that like needs to be sorted. There's like 22-hour projects that need to be done on this car. Okay, it's all stupid shit. But I still I don't understand why you sold this one of the two. That still kind of blows my mind. Um,
Just to stop you
yeah.
real quick. I think you said Tyler. Isn't his name
His
Alex?
name is Alex, and I don't know why my brain went to Tyler. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know if you
Just
want to
correction.
like chirp that out or something. My bad. Alex, I don't know why you sold this one and didn't sell your other one. Like, I don't get it. Maybe the body's a little nicer on the other one, or the paint's a little nicer on the other one. But you had all the fixins to make something really sick. Okay. And like I don't know, man. I'm happy. Like I'm hyped. Megan's currently driving the car right now, so obviously we made it home.
Hey.
Um,
Yeah, so you swapped the battery out then?
yeah, yeah. So either way, we I we're hyped. You and I are driving around that night in it, having a good time. There's things this car needs. Okay, one, the clutch is awful. It's got to be like a 6 puck something or other or something stupid. It's heavier than I would like it to be, and it grabs immediately. Now, I will say it got better as we drove it, but some of that is just you and I getting used to it. Um,
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to be us getting used to it because that motherfucker, if you're not paying attention, grips hard. It just snags
yeah, yeah,
immediately.
yeah. And I mean, I don't stall Subarus very often. I think I stalled it 3 or 4 times. You stalled it a couple of times. Um,
Yeah.
it was she's kind of a bitch. Okay. Thankfully, most of what we did was highway driving.
Mhm.
And then the shifter bushings are crap. Okay, they're not the worst I've ever seen, but they're not great. Which it's a 20. I don't know. Let's just be nice and say 20-year-old, but it's probably closer to 25-year-old car. It's a 20-year-old car.
Right.
Okay. Stuff's been swapped back and forth and whatever, but she's an old car. It needs some things. Okay. Shifter bushings. It did not have a radio at all. Okay.
Or
And then
speakers, yeah.
one of the things we checked when we got there, because we thought all we needed was a radio, there are no speakers either. Somebody had some like fancy aftermarket system in here and ripped it all out.
Yeah.
So there's also
We st
like
all the wiring was still in there.
there's a bunch of random wiring that shouldn't be there. There's speaker holes cut in the upper deck in the back that there's no speakers in there, so you get a lot of road noise through there and stuff.
Yep.
Again, these are all it's minor dumb shit, and it's kind of stuff like from this era, the way people modified cars during that time period. I wasn't surprised to see it, you know, in the parts of the harness I was worried about, nothing was chopped up or anything like that. It was that this was all ran like separately. So, um it also the cigarette lighter didn't work, so that means we couldn't power a radar detector or a charger. Um that had me a little bit worried that we weren't going to be able to get that sorted. Thankfully we
Yeah,
figured that
it
out.
was easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after we kind of sorted it. So what I had purchased a radio from Amazon that we're gonna throw in here, some cheapy, like $130, but it does Android Auto thing. It's basically a mini tablet screen that you throw in. There's nothing
Yep.
fancy to this thing whatsoever, but it did the job. So we decided the smart place to do this was going to be a Walmart parking lot. Now I wanted to be on the road at noon. We ended up missing that by about an hour. We were in that Walmart parking lot for
Yeah.
what, 3.5 hours or so, freezing our dicks off,
Yeah,
installing this
it was
radio.
probably yeah, it was probably about 3 hours, and, yeah, we left like 1 something, a
Yep.
little like, about an hour after that. Yeah, it was
Well,
pretty chilly. It was, I think, what, like, 10 to 12 degrees in that morning?
yeah, it started out real damn cold. The night before, we were smart. The one thing you're going to do if you ever fly and do this on a road trip, I cannot stress this enough. Just figure into your budget. You're going to Harbor Freight and spending $200. And that's exactly
Yep.
what we did. We went to Harbor Freight, we blew $200. We got a full tool kit and all the stupid shit we were going to need, wire strippers, everything. Anything we thought we might need, we got. It didn't have a jack. So I got like a fairly tall bottle jack thing that I could shove in the rear. And I got everything we needed in case we were in a shit situation. Okay. So we we had tools, we had what we needed. So we go to this Walmart, um and we had bought some speakers the night before too, from a Walmart, I
Yeah, we went
think.
to Best Buy.
Best Buy,
No,
that's where we got the speakers. Yeah, the
we went to
weirdest
Best
Best Buy
Buy.
I've ever been in. That thing was strange. It was massive and there was nothing in it. um
Yeah.
and then we went to the Walmart that was crammed all to hell and full of everything, but the building itself was like smaller than the Best Buy.
Yeah. It
It's
was.
super weird. Um, I do gotta ask, what the fuck is it with the West Coast in locking their bathrooms? Why can't you just go take a piss? Like, why is it so hard?
Yeah,
The
I don't
it
know.
is so weird, and it was I don't
It's
get that at all.
it's very weird.
Um,
Um,
yeah, so we went to this Walmart to install the radio. That was a shit show, but we also managed to find power from I'm not even exactly sure what that thing was supposed to be powering, but it now
I
powers a
have
cigarette
no
lighter.
idea, and I looked it up. It literally in this, diagram, the wiring diagram, it just says module control.
Well, we
That
use
is
the
it.
module control to power the cigarette lighter, and it had the thick boy wires, so we decided that was the one we wanted because the thing that looked like it was for the
Yeah.
cigarette lighter looked real sketchy and like it had melted. And we were like,
Yeah,
I ain't feeling
not
that.
using that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that thing is supposed to control because there is, no plug for it anywhere for it to go into.
Yep.
I have no idea.
Um.
Uh, that
So
was easy. It's only 2 wires for that one.
I feel like you gotta. Can you post a picture of like right when we picked it
Of
up in
Yeah.
the chat? Yeah, the
Yeah, I
chat.
sure I
I,
sure
the
can.
homies are asking. I don't want to make them. We'll show them. Yeah, it looked pretty rough, so we decided not to use it. Alex, it was just kind of. You could tell like somebody tried to run power through that shouldn't have been ran through it, so we decided to say no. Um, in that whole mess, I ended up popping a fuse too.
Oh, yeah. Oh my
Yeah. Uh,
What did you drag the screwdriver across
yeah,
the
the
cigarette lighter?
screwdriver hit the cigarette lighter terminals and popped the fuse. So,
Yeah, that was
which
funny.
honestly wasn't a terrible thing because then I just went into Best Buy or sorry, into Walmart and grabbed a fuse kit, which we should have had anyway.
Oh, yeah, because we had no fuses anyways. Yeah, we could have, ran into a problem if we ever needed
Well, I mean,
those.
think about it. This car's been wired all sorts of weird, you know. We don't know what the hell we're getting into here. So, either way, um yeah, that was we picked it up. Okay, that was us. I think that's me rooting around in it. That's it's
Yes, it
she
is.
is literally just a bug eye on a set of Rhoda somethings. Were the headlights adjusted
No,
all
they were
right?
not.
No, the headlights we ran with the brights on the entire way home and we didn't once get flash. They were pointing at the ground. It's all right. We got her
Yeah.
done, bud.
Yeah, it was fine.
it's
Oh,
it,
and then me being a dumbass, right? I'm gonna blame it on partially, the sleep deprivation and the gabapentin brain fog.
okay.
Um, I went to go start wiring in the speakers, right? And I had the wrong head unit plug.
Oh god, yeah, that's going to be hard to explain, but basically he was wiring the speakers into nothing.
Into nothing. I'm like, what? He's like, what? He's like, you need to stop. I'm like, what? I'm doing this right. And in theory, technically it was, but I had the plugs like the wrong plug, so it was
Yeah.
literally just gonna plug into absolutely
Yeah,
nothing.
it was just off to space. I'm like, stop, stop. um, yeah. So, um, it.
I forgot about that, and then I was looking back at the video, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I remember." I'm like, "Man, what the fuck was I thinking at that moment?"
So one of the things while I'm saying all this, my wife for Christmas bought me not one but two sets of Meta glasses, the Ray-Bans. We
Oh, those came out to be
recorded
awesome.
a massive amount of this trip using those. So like we got all sorts of random headcam footage from all sorts of shit. Plus, we set up one of the GoPros to do stop motion. So every 5 seconds it'd take a picture on the trip. So we've got like a stop motion video of the entire trip. And we're gonna chop this all up and we're putting it on our my new but old but new but old but now new again YouTube channel, Go Fast or Suck. Just because we needed a really good spot to put this, and I think the trip's gonna be fun, and we got some. I'll explain at the end what the plans are for this car. But we get that together. We kind of have to do something funky with some screws to just using these universal shit brackets to get the head unit didn't quite sit in the right spot, and we didn't have the original head unit brackets. So the head unit sits way back in. You got to kind of like reach in the hole to get to it, but it works. Okay, thing fires up. Our cigarette lighter works. Everything else in this car is working. We're pretty hyped. So we get on the road, right? And we're like, well, you know, we got internet right now and whatever. This is when last week we tried to do the podcast because we start while we're kind of in town and we're like, yeah, we're doing the thing and trying to record it and we're in the car and I was all excited that we could like talk about this in the car and the stuff we're figuring out about it and you know and we immediately start going right up a damn mountain and we lose internet like freaking 10 minutes into this. So anybody who came in last week and you tried to make it work, you know what? We appreciate you. But it wasn't going to work. So I'm
actually
thinking
pretty sure the thumbnail taken was at the time where we were trying to record.
maybe
Like,
it probably, I don't know. I
I'm
think
pretty
that was
sure
a ways
pretty
after
sure it
that. Because that
No, it was up in those mountain areas. I'm pretty sure it was relatively close to that.
maybe either way, we tried to go up this damn mountain and well, we went up the damn mountain and we ended up following I don't remember her name. But she had her Instagram. It was some like weird she had this like overlanding looking Toyota. It was like a Forerunner or something. She had a bunch of work done too. The only reason I knew it was a her is she had her Instagram on the back and I looked her up and added her and chatted with her, but I'm pretty sure we were freaking her out because we were like Like, we followed her forever. And then we even missed our corner, and then, like, she turned, and then we're like, "Shit, we missed our corner," turned around and came back and ended up on her ass again. Like, I would have been freaking
Yep.
out. I would have been like, "What is this psychopath doing?" What was crazy is the amount of Subarus we saw in that area was nuts, and it's not
Oh, yeah.
STIs and WRXs, it's Outbacks and, like, Foresters and, like, older model Outbacks and
Yeah.
Foresters. Fucking tons of them. It was wild. Wild.
Shit,
It
we even
was
got picked up in one.
yeah, we even got picked up in one. When the second we got off that plane, everything was green. And guess what picked us up? A green Outback. Um, it was yeah, it was wild the amount of and the thing is they don't use salt on the roads there, so like they're older, you know, the cars have seen wear and stuff, but by like a Midwest boys standards, these things were mint.
Super mint.
They were so clean.
So mint.
Um Again, which is one of the reasons I bought this car way out here. So the car's running good, we're feeling good, we're driving, and I'm thinking we're gonna see a few more cities. I swear to God, we got to the other side of that mountain and we saw
And it was
nothing.
fucking nothing for
I could
miles. When I
not,
say miles, I mean like 50 miles. There's literally nothing.
and when I mean nothing, it was like you'd go like 50-mile stretches of no houses, nothing, and then there would be a gas station. And that when I took that video on our Facebook, that was one of those stretches that it was like legitimately 30 miles in every direction. There was nothing. This gas station was it. And we had like a half tank when we stopped. We're like, dude, I don't know if we're gonna see any more gas. Like, we're filling.
You're right.
Um, could not believe how desolate this was. I'm sure the guy in the bottom was in Australia. Like, that's what it looks like in, you know, when you get out into the central Australia. That's the kind of vibe I was getting. Was there was just I could not believe the anybody who says I'm not trying to get super political here, but anybody who says there's not enough room in the United States for like more people has never driven through this area of the country. We have all the room.
Yes.
There is so much
There's
room
a
out
lot more
west. There is even like I'm in Tennessee, okay? This is supposed to be rural, okay? And there's areas in Michigan that are pretty rural. There is nothing this rural. Like it doesn't even come close. It is wild how much nothing is out there.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no trees. There's no, in some spots, there's no hills. There's nothing. There is nothing for as far as you can see, right off into the horizon. It was absolutely crazy. And then at night, especially if your headlights don't work great, the only thing I could compare it to is that it was like what I think driving around in a submarine is like, because there's also no light pollution. And it also like
0.
there's a little bit of overcast, so you didn't have stars. Okay. There was no moon, no nothing. It was just black. It was crazy. Um,
It was so dark when you could literally be right next to the guardrail and you could only see the guardrail and everything beyond that is literally just a black wall. There's nothing. And Dewey's like, I wonder what's out there. So I'm like, I have my flashlight. Let's find out. And hills everywhere. Hills, trees. You couldn't even tell.
yeah. Absolutely crazy. Um, yeah, if we would have crashed, like flew off the road there or something, they wouldn't have found us for months. It's like, who else is
Yeah.
gonna know we're out there? It's like Alex, and then that's it.
That's it.
Yep. So either way,
Yeah, the overcast was weird.
yeah. It's the weather was weird. They had we went through an area, so they got freezing fog while we were there. And there was a lot more ice there than I thought there was gonna be. We went through an area that looked like it didn't have power, and there was a pretty thick layer of ice on stuff. So, um, yeah, it was that was unreal. So that night, our goal was to make it to Boise. So we made it to Boise, Idaho, and slept in a Holiday Inn Express. And my wife was booking stuff the whole way for us, which was super nice. And yeah, I mean, honestly, there was basically nothing between us getting over that mountain and Boise, Idaho. that was there's like we went into that little town and we went past a McDonald's and there
That's
was a
the only place
Napa
to
that
eat
was
at.
still open, and we wanted to go in there because we also didn't have a windshield wiper or a windshield
Oh,
washer.
yep.
I ordered a windshield washer reservoir to get sent to Alex, and it showed up a day late. It probably storms or whatever, who knows? It got stuck in Chicago and didn't make it out. So either way, it didn't make it. And we had an idea on what we wanted to do, plus it was just funny. That we were gonna get one of those pesticide spray bottles that you pump up. We went and got one of those at Walmart, and then we were just
At the
gonna
Walmart that we were at, yeah.
yeah, we were gonna run a hose up to the windshield washer sprayers, and we were gonna spray with that, but we needed some windshield washer line, and we needed an adapter to go to a bigger hose that would fit over to the end. So we stopped in this Napa to get this, and because we were gonna need washer fluid from here on out, it was actually like we knew we were gonna be going into some snow and stuff. We needed to make sure this thing worked. Those guys looked at us like we were from space when we walked in there. We got in there right as they were closing. Managed to get the stuff we needed. And we asked them, we're like, is there any more food like that direction? Like something fast food because we wanted to get something quick? Or is that McDonald's kind of it? And they're like, well, I mean, it's like 60 miles and you'll get to like another small town. I don't think anything will be open by the time you get there though. And I'm like, holy shit. So yeah, we went and got McDonald's because we were afraid we weren't going to get food. And guess what? We didn't see any more food. We didn't see
No,
any
no, we
more.
did
Yeah,
not.
because we got into Boise pretty late. We didn't see any more
Yeah.
food the rest of the night. That was 6 o'clock that we rolled through there. And there wasn't.
Yeah, they close so early. Everything closes early there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a
'Cause it
small
was
town, you know?
it's a small town and it was what Thursday? It was Thursday night or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's still weird. I don't know. Everything over here closes at like 8 to like 10 o'clock around me. I
Yep.
don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. Yeah, it was that was nuts. So, um, we didn't start hitting any real snow till after on day two. Day two, we started seeing a little bit
So
of snow.
we got some serious snow once we hit. I wouldn't even call it serious. We got quite a bit of snow when we hit Colorado.
Yeah, well, it was like the north side of Colorado, Wyoming areas where we started like shit started to actually like bunch up a bit.
Yeah.
Wyoming wasn't
Yeah.
even that bad. So again, I don't recommend this for anybody, but the speed limit in Wyoming was 85. All right. And I'm just saying, being from Michigan and, I've been in some shit and it's just kind of how you do. You go about 15 over, it's just, if you're feeling good on the interstate and everything's 15 over. We were not the only ones doing this, is what everybody was doing. This car for basically an entire damn day. I think we did 12 hours that day. It was a hell of a
Yeah.
stint. 100 mile an hour. Just
For legal reasons, even though this was all filmed in Mexico.
all of this was in Mexico. It just looked a lot like Wyoming. But we could do a solid dollar there, and it was just that's what everybody was doing. And it felt okay. We didn't run into any real snow or anything until we were into Colorado, where obviously we backed it off, but it was crazy. Um, we I could not believe how fast that we were just hammering along. And again, this car was just happy as hell. Temps were where they needed to be. Did everything it had
Oh,
to
yeah.
do. Not a problem
Didn't
with.
see anything above 180 on coolant temps.
Yep, super solid. It's got some no name aluminum radiator in there. I don't even think it's Mishimoto. That may or may not get replaced in the very near future just because I'm not sure I trust it. I'd like to put in our IAG radiator, and I'll explain what I plan on doing with this crazy ass car. Um, but that's we're getting there. Either way, we cruise into Colorado, and one of my plans on this whole thing is I always wanted to stop into Flatirons Tuning. I wanted to see John Cooley. I wanted to see what that situation was about. And we managed to get there damn near an hour earlier than we thought because, well, we were doing $1 across.
We were cooking.
We were moving, boy, and we were trying to make time, so we weren't fucking around at any. We hardly ate. Like we were just hauling balls.
Yeah, we literally I think majority of this trip we survived on a single bag of like it was a giant bag of beef jerky.
Yeah, I got this huge ass bag of these beef jerky like circle token
Discs?
things. And yeah, we ate
Yeah.
the shit out of those things. And I think it actually worked out because they were so salty, it just sucked the water out of us, so we didn't have to pee all that much.
It's true, actually. I looked at it. It was like 780 milligrams of sodium per serving, which is like 4 discs.
I do. These things were salty as shit. They were good, but after you realize how much salt was in them, you're like, holy. And I think it just dehydrated the shit out of us because we ate the fuck
It
out of
was
these
funny
things.
because both of us were like, man, I'm so fucking thirsty. Why am I so thirsty? And then the next day, that's when I looked at the bag. I was like, I wonder how much salt is in this.
Dude, we might as well just been straight up licking salt. Like it was,
Yeah.
they were good. It gave it protein and salt. That's what we got out of that. So either way, we roll into Colorado, met John and the boys, had a great dinner, really great conversation with those dudes. It's always cool to hang out with people from the community, and John is a massive part of our community. And his hospitality was amazing. They had us. We went to this some local restaurant, and I had. It seems lame that I got a burger there, but oh my god,
It was a good ass burger.
that burger was freaking incredible. Yeah, the food was great there. We had some, real good talks there and after and whatever, future of the Subaru community, stuff like that. Like it was great. And it's, I don't want to out them too bad, but it's really wild that I can tell John doesn't get out to other places in the country all that often because I don't think John realizes the impact he is having on the community. The
Right.
numbers
Yeah.
don't show it all that much, but like if John were to go to like a Wicked Big Meet or something, which I think he's planning on doing this next year. I think he's going to be astounded with the amount of people who come up to him and go, "Oh my god, dude, like I watch your stuff all the time." John's great. He's awesome, but I love him to pieces, but I don't I'm not trying to like if you I know so many of you guys have watched his videos or listened to some of his content or something, and we take it for granted that he's doing this. He's doing God's work with how small that is and him having to run a shop and do that stuff. And he does all his own editing and everything else. Do him a bare minimum, drop him a comment and drop him a like. And if you're not subscribed, do it. Okay. We need to support content creators like that. Same thing with like Smedia and any of these other guys. If they're doing Subaru based content, help them. The more we support these people as a community, the more of it we're going to get, the better it's going to get. And these people will keep doing this stuff. I don't think John realizes how important he is to the community, and he's massive. Okay. So like we need to make sure we take care of him. So again, I need you to do it for this podcast and our stuff, but I guarantee if you start your algorithm starts seeing our stuff, you're going to start seeing his stuff too. Drop him a like, even if it's a topic you really don't like. It's not changing your life, but it might, you think other people need to see this. Throw it a like because it really helps the algorithm. And do that for like anything you see out there Subaru based. If it's not even John, like again, this is a rising tide raises all boats situation. You know, hit that like and subscribe button goes a really long way. Leave a comment, things like that. Share stuff. You got to get the algorithm moving so we can get more of the content that we actually need. Okay. I promise you, porn's always going to be there. Okay. This is not AI slop. This is good content. So help them out because it's a lot of effort to do this. But that burger was great. We went and hung out over at my buddy Tyler's house. That's where we slept that night. Tyler, I've known Tyler forever. He used to work at Six Star Motorsports. He's done a lot of work for like Robert Champion. Like he's got his own Subarus. I remember Tyler when he barely had his driver's license and he got a 2.5 RS and he started coming to our meets and then we ended up hiring him and like Tyler's great. Okay. But he's like, hey man, crash at our house, at my house. That'd be great. And what was really awesome is he had a heated garage. So we wanted to pull the car in. I just wanted to see what Tyler thought about the car. Tyler's got, I wanted a separate set of eyes to look through the car. Okay. So Tyler started poking around at things, and we did find out, and I'm going to out you a little bit here, Alex, but I love you. The power steering is only being held in by one bolt right now. The front two are missing.
One bolt.
And then, so Tyler's like, well, I got some bolts. Let me see if I can just pop this in here. And the front bolts are stripped. So we need to helicoil that. Like I said, there's a whole pile of like 2-hour jobs that need to be done with this thing. Other than that, Tyler had a whole bunch of like leftovers.
The snorkel.
Yeah. We tried to install the snorkel on it. He gave me a snorkel, but it just did not want to install. I'm not 100% sure why, but we couldn't get the hood closed with the snorkel on. It was mad about something. So the snorkel, unfortunately, did not go on. But we had the OEM snorkel he hooked me up with. He hooked me up with a bunch of really nice OEM stuff and then some random bushings he had laying around. Just crap he probably wasn't going to use, but had. Tyler's the best. But we ended up crashing there. You slept on an air mattress. It didn't work out great. And I slept on a couch, which I'm totally fine with because it was all free and I was okay with this, but man, it did you in.
It did me in. I cannot be more appreciative that he let us stay there. And I will not complain about that at all. I won't even complain about being on his the air mattress because it's what he had. It's what he could offer. And we got to stay there for free. But yeah, it did my back dirty. I was not good in the morning. I was literally limping around and I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm driving this morning. I'm like, you have to start this trip first.
Jeffrey in the chat posting up rare parts. Man, seeing those makes me want to put fog lights back in it. I ordered, and I'm going to explain why here in a few, but I ordered some fog light covers. So those should be here any day because it needs fog light covers. But man, seeing those, you got like they're basically fog light protectors, like acrylic fog light protectors to protect the glass. Those are sick. I don't think I've ever seen a set of those. Wow, cool. Okay, back to it. This thing's fucking me all up. So you're dead in the morning.
Yep.
It snowed a pretty good amount. All right.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of overnight snow there.
We're sliding around having a great time. The snow tires really started to come into play. And
Well, remember, we were struggling to get the car to even slide that morning. Like, it took an
yeah,
entire covered parking lot in order to get it to slide. Those
we had
tires were great.
I had to get super serious about throwing the car around. It's been a long time since I've thrown a Subaru around in the snow, especially with good snow tires. And this was even more so. Like I had to add a pretty grotesque amount of throttle and a lot of steering angle to get this thing to do what I wanted it to do. But once it did, it's awesome. Mint.
Yep.
Again, Nokian. These tires are sick. All right. So here's the situation. We got 16 hours from Denver to my house. There is the mother of all shit storms about to come through. Ice, snow, everything. It's going to be ass. It's going to turn really bad once we start going south of St. Louis. This is what we know, okay? We are trying to decide as we wanted to beat the storm, okay? This was the plan. We're going to haul ass and beat the storm. We get on the road and we are hammering for everything it's worth. We actually burned through Kansas pretty quick. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't even remember Kansas, to be honest. Yeah, it was,
Colorado
we
and
went through it.
Kansas kind of just went by. We tore ass right through them as fast as we could go. Missouri is when it started to get real bad. One, the sun was going down. Two, the snow, we had been dealing with snow already, but it was starting to blow around a lot and stick to the back of the trucks. And three, the road itself was clear, but none of the ramps were. Okay. So like
Can't even see the ramp.
we tried to stop at a couple of ramps, to go down, get gas, get food. And like it wasn't like you couldn't find the ramp. And or
It
we
wasn't
ended up
there,
missing
and
it.
I felt so bad. I blew past one. I'm like, "Fuck!" That was the off ramp right there.
That
And
was
there's
the
the
one we
sign was
needed.
covered. Couldn't see the sign,
Yeah.
and there was literally 5 inches of snow covering the entire ramp. It just blended in. Didn't even notice it.
So we did 16 hours. We're hammering along. We went to the next. We were planning on getting food there, but again, time was of the essence. So we're hammering along. We missed that ramp. We managed to get the next one, but there's no food there. So we kind of grabbed some like random shit, but there wasn't a lot there, right? It was
Wasn't
just,
there an Arby's?
is that where we got the Arby's?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure that was where we got the Arby's.
that's all we had that day was some kind of ass Arby's.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we actually pulled off and got Arby's because we needed some food.
We might have.
But that
Yeah.
was fairly early. That was like 1 PM. Okay. When we got our Arby's fix. It's getting dark, so we're past like 5:30 or so. It's getting dark. You can't see any of the ramps. Snow is blowing all over the place. It's not coming down very hard, but they got enough snow to where, and it was really cold. We were talking like 2 degrees. Snow is blowing everywhere and it's sticking to the back of the semis. We learned this phenomenon that we now refer to as ghost trucks.
Ghost trucks.
They are Jordan's sworn enemy now. Basically, the snow would blow around the back of the truck so bad it blocked the lights out, so you couldn't see the truck. You just knew there was something there because the snow's blowing, and we're trying to make time. So we're hauling ass. We're still doing 75, 80 mile an hour, but you'd come up to these
Easily.
trucks and
Yeah.
you couldn't see shit. So we'd end up having to back down to like 60 because they're chilling. And then creep forward until you could finally see where they're at and then go around. Dude, I think we followed one. There was a couple of them that those guys were going almost as fast as we were,
Like,
and we
there
couldn't
was one
catch
truck
them
we chased.
forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was one
Probably
truck
like
we
50,
chased
60
forever.
miles.
Easily. And he was booking 80, 85. And what's terrifying is since you literally truly can't see it, it's literally kicking up all the snow and making a giant snow cloud. You can't see past the hood of the car, and we're doing 80 miles an hour. We're
So
afraid
dumb.
that we're gonna barrel into the back of the truck. So
Yes.
we would slow down and then creep up as close as we could to the truck. And as soon as we could see where the truck was at, we would cut over and gun it and just hope to God there was not a car in front of it.
Yeah, it's all we could do. It was, oh my God, it was so sketch. So we're following these trucks, and these trucks are blowing up huge amounts of snow. Okay. We get into St. Louis, right outside of St. Louis, and hi. We get outside of St. Louis, and I look over at I look over at Jordan, and I'm like, yo, this thing isn't going anywhere right now. Like, I am way down on power. Um,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we need to, I don't know what's going on, but this isn't okay. Now the other thing we were worried about is the last gas station we were at. When we went to start the car, it was turning over like shit. Okay. And it was, the
Yeah,
battery
would
was
not
not having this. So we're like, dude, if we've got to like turn this car on and off a couple of times, this car might not start. Here's the idea: find a Walmart that's just off the highway. We'll go to that Walmart, and then we can at least go in and get a battery if we need it. So that was the plan. We went straight to this Walmart. Funny thing about this Walmart, and the area this happened at, is when I went and bought my kid's Mini, it broke down at this exact same exit.
which is
And
there's something about that stretch of the road that
there's
makes cars go bad
it's crazy.
because that's the second car trip you went
Yes.
and it lost power all of a
And,
sudden.
and it, yeah, this thing
Yes.
was yeah. So either way, we can barely keep this car alive to get it into the parking lot. I'm having to like feather the
Of
throttle.
course, we had to get up to a red light, and I'm just like, dude, I'm like, cut the red light off. He goes, I can't. There's like cops sitting there.
Yeah, he was like, blow the red light, and there's a cop sitting right at the corner. I'm like, I can't blow this red light, dude. So I'm sitting there having to like feather this throttle to keep it alive. And the snow in this parking lot is deep. So I'm like, damn near, I'm like having to feather it to get really high RPM just to kind of putt through this parking lot. And we get to where we're at, and I'm like, okay, I think it'll idle. So we got it to idle. We got out, and we started poking at stuff. Like, what's going on? Something sticking out. Like, we had to check engine light at this point. It wasn't really telling us what was going on, and we couldn't get our shit to connect to it correctly. And then I'm like, open the air box and see what's going on with that. The second we open the air box, the filter is like bulged. Okay. And then we pull the filter up. The filter is rock hard, completely iced. And under it is rock hard, super compact snow ice mixture. We'd been driving behind these semis this whole time, and it was sucking in all this blowy snow, and it compacted in our air box. And we didn't have the
Well, the
snorkel,
engine.
and we also didn't have fog lights in the front, and it's just wide open, so it was blowing all of that in there. What'd you say about the
Plus, the
engine?
engine bay was getting hot. I would say the engine bay was getting hot. It was literally melting that snow, like the
Yes.
snow and ice block.
It was,
Yeah.
so it turned it into basically freezing ice inside of it. So it we pull it was crazy because the second we pulled out the air filter, it started idling immediately better. Like, it's like, okay, I'm happy
Oh, yeah.
again. So we took a screwdriver and dug all this shit out, and but the filter is rock hard. Like, what are we gonna do with this? So we so we're like, well, we're at this Walmart. The Walmart's closed. Okay, so they're closed early because of this crazy storm coming through. Everything is closed. There's nothing open. Um, so I'm trying to like keep this thing alive, and we're like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop in the car. We're gonna turn the heater on as high as we can. We're gonna sit there and rev the engine. We're gonna try to melt the filter. Okay. So that's what we did, is we melted the filter out. But in the process of that, the car,
car
as
dies.
we put it back together, the car dies. Oh my God. I thought we were done. So basically my theory is the ECU tried to learn around this, and it did not want to start again. Okay. So we put the filter back in, breathing like shit. And it, like, try to start it 2 or 3 times, and it wouldn't fire up. And then I go to key again, and the thing does nothing because the battery's dead. We're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? And we're sitting here trying to figure it out. I turn all the lights off and everything, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, let it chill, and we'll give it one more shot, okay? And I fire it one more time, the thing keys over. Thank fucking God, dude, because we didn't have jumper cables, which is something we should have purchased and didn't.
Yeah, that was the one thing, like that one essential that we did not pick up for whatever dumb reason.
Yep. I don't know why we didn't think about picking up jumper cables, but we didn't grab jumper cables, and we again, this battery was done. We get the thing to fire, it's immediately running better. Okay, we're like, thank God we're gonna get out of here. The downside was there's definitely a ton of moisture in
The
the air
filter was
filter.
wet.
So the air filter's spitting like water out onto the mass airflow sensors.
The
So
math.
it
Yeah.
almost immediately throws a check engine light and it's pissed. But at least I knew what it was. Um so it does a few hiccups and then it seems okay and we're fine. So we decide, screw it. We're this far in. We probably should have stopped here. Okay. But we said, screw it, we're gonna go for it. I am very happy we didn't stop. So we St. Louis was fucked. Okay. They got a lot of snow. They probably had 8 to 12 inches of snow on the ground. Okay. And it came down real fast. Their trucks were not keeping up with it
Yeah.
by any means. And this is what, 6-lane interstate, all going one direction.
You mean 0?
Well, there were no lanes. It was a lane. Nobody knew where they were, but it was this crazy wide interstate and nobody was on it. Car finally made a decent amount of power and we had snow tires. 85 mile an hour. There was nothing to hit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we were booking it, man.
There was
There's
barely-
nothing to
No,
hit.
like 3 people that were on the highway had no idea what went by them. Because we were just
They had to think we were crazy. Yeah, they had to think we were crazy. They're doing like 45 miles an hour, and here we are doing literally double their speed.
yes, and the car was fine. Like it didn't care. And even if you did hit the key to it was there were some spots that were plowed, and we'll get into that in a second. But if as long as you stayed in some snow, it was great. Those snow tires were phenomenal. The car was really predictable, and it just did whatever we needed it to do. So we just hauled ass through St. Louis. That was so much fun. We stopped at this gas station, filled up. They couldn't believe we were even there. I've never seen these roads this dead. Everything south of St. Louis was empty other than a couple of plow trucks
Oh yeah.
and like 3 semis. Like there was nothing else out there. We stopped, gassed up, and then here's where decision making happened. South of St. Louis, we knew there was going to be ice. Okay, ice storm was going to hit sooner or later here. We could either A, stay here and go the next morning after the ice storm had already went through, or B, as long as we feel that we have traction, we try to punch through this thing and get ahead of the ice storm. We chose B, and there was a couple of points where I was like, this wasn't a good idea. And I am so happy it's what we did. We got to a point where they didn't get much snow, but they were getting ice, and those areas were super sketchy. But the key to it was the ice that was falling. It was coming down as like sleet when we were getting through there. As long as we kept in the snowy area, not the plowed area, we had plenty of traction. And it was funny because the like 3 people we did see on the highway, they're driving through the ice. And we just drive through in the unplowed lane at twice their speed. And they were like, what the fuck is even happening? But the car felt fine. So we kept going. We knew we had to get ahead of the storm. So we had to haul ass. And that's how it honestly, the roads didn't go real to shit until we got into Tennessee, like a decent ways, and we got off the highway. Then it was like, it was sketchy, and I kind of needed you to play,
Yeah, you're like
rally
you're like, I need
co-driver.
some rally pace notes right now. Look at the map and tell me when these corners are coming up, because we can't see shit. There's no roads because it's the skinny back roads, right?
Yeah, there's skinny, curvy back roads, and like I don't know them exactly. And I need him to tell me like, hey, we got a fairly hard right coming up, fairly hard left, like chill out, whatever. Because I didn't want to get caught with my pants down. So he was basically calling rally pace notes as we're just bombing through these back roads. And we managed to get home. And then we got home at what, like 3 a.m. or something like that. It was pretty late.
It was like 2:30, yeah.
Um, we're both dead, so we go to bed. We wake up the next morning and there's 2 inches of ice on everything. And I mean like rock solid ice. Everything was fucked.
Yeah, I'm trying to post the video of this, but my phone is freaking out. I have to back out. Hold
Nah,
on.
you're good.
So
Either way,
I took
like
a video.
big ice, big ice. So super stoked we managed to get back. And I can't stress this enough. All seasons are no season tires. Okay. Snow tires are God. And if you have to deal with winter conditions, accept no substitute. Snow tires are the answer. I've known this living in northern conditions, but it's been a long time since I experienced it. And it's really crazy seeing the disparity between people who have really crappy all seasons and god tier snow tires. It didn't matter what they were driving. We're just running away from them. So, yeah, it was an adventure and we recorded the whole thing and there's a bunch of shenanigans and you're going to be able to see it over on Go Faster Suck. So why did I purchase this thing? What's the reasoning behind it? Long story short, A, bug eyes are just fun. But B, I don't feel like there's enough stuff out there explaining how to do things with your car. There's plenty of stuff out there on how to modify your car, how to how to even drive your car. There's lots of stuff out there about that, building cars. There's lots of build content. But nobody does things. And I got to be real, the do everything car is a Subaru. So the plan is to show people how to go do things with your car. So I want to go ice racing with this car. That hopefully will happen here in the next few weeks. Okay, but I want to go drag racing with this car. I want to go to an autocross and do some autocross with this car. I want to go to a track day with this car. I want to go attend a rally with this car. But not, I want to go do these. I'm not going to go. I want to attend a rally. I'm not going to do rallycross. Please don't ask me if I'm doing that. Or do stage rally with this car. That is not happening. Just go to it. Do Subaru things or just do car people things because I don't
We're
feel
gonna do
like
car
people
people things.
even know how to find these things, know how to set the car up, what to expect when they get to these events. They don't know what the situation is. Okay. So the idea is to show that doing things with your car. And then like the plan is this, I'm going to set this car up to be kind of a jack of all trades. Okay. I've been screaming forever about the most juice for your squeeze build being like a Blausch 1.5 XTR G2R and supporting modifications around that. And that is kind of the goal as far as power goes. It's, it may never see more than 450 and I kind of hope it never does. But it'll be able to do everything well. Okay. And I'm not going to go hyper track focused suspension, but it's also not going to be super comfort spec. Okay. It's going to be a do everything car. This car will be able to do everything. One of the things I even want to do is I think I want to try doing DoorDash. I think it'll make a great
Yes.
episode.
In a DoorDash in a snowstorm.
Hopefully. The problem with here, and my wife made a very good point, that is if there's a snowstorm, everything's going to close.
Well, you can always bring the car up here.
I
We
might
got
have to go
plenty
up
of
north.
snow.
Yes. Maybe I'll
We
go up
got
north
plenty
and
of
do it.
snow and plenty of stores open.
So either way, I want to do stuff with this car and then show the process of doing it. What do I need to do to prep the car for whatever I'm going to do? And then maybe kind of an after report of if I were to do more of this, how would I modify the car from here? But I want to kind of make almost the perfect middle do everything car. I want to go to Tail of the Dragon. I want to go, I'm even going to plan on trying to attend a car show. I want to do like all of it. The idea here is to do all the things. Okay. This be A jack of all trades, kind of a master of none, but the car makes me happy, and that's really the key here. I'm already spending way too much of my time after work staring at fun parts that I wish I could do on a bug eye before, but I've been screaming this for a long time, and it is really starting to come true. If you see some of these GD chassis on Bring a Trailer and like Cars and Bids and stuff, they're starting to skyrocket in price. And the reason for that is guys my age, you're in your 40s, you have a little bit of money now, you're stable in life. One, you can't afford a new Corvette. You can't. Okay. Porsches have gotten freakishly expensive. And also, that's really not the car that got you hyped up when you were 20. The car that got you hyped up when you were 20 was, for a lot of us who are listening to this podcast in particular, was an STI. Okay. And, or for me, it was a bug eye, and I owned a bug eye, and, my wife still owns the STI, but we, I was never able to do the things to this vehicle that I wanted to do, back when I was younger. And there's going to be a lot of people like me trying to do the same thing. So it's, call it resto mod, call it whatever, but we're now in a position to do this stuff. And we are paying good money to do it. And there's going to be a bunch of us doing this. And I kind of want to show not just people my age, but, younger or whatever, this is how you do things with your car. And I'm picking a substantially older car than a lot of those people will, but I think it'll be some insight into older Subarus and stuff, you should look out for, like shifter bushings and steering rack bushings and stuff like that. And it's I think a lot of people are afraid to try to take their cars to certain events because they don't even know where to start. They don't even know how to find that type of event, or maybe they have a misconception on that type of event and think that their car might not be a good fit for that, or they're worried they're going to hurt something, or maybe that environment's weird. Like, got to be real, you can't even get a lot of people to talk to you on the phone these days. This might open up some opportunities for a lot of people to just see something new and different and have a good time. I think it'll be really fun. So I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. Do you think this will be a good time? Is this something you'd want to hear more about? The, crazy misadventures of the bug eye? Because it's happening whether you guys want to hear it about it or not. I'm super excited. I it's again, this car checks all the boxes. I'm already, had some conversations with some companies who are excited about, maybe helping out with this because they believe in the idea behind the car. It's not so much the car or me, but I think they like the idea of maybe showing people how to do things. And I know that's one of the things that excited John about this. John Cooley is really hyped about showing people how to do these things. And so that's going to be kind of our goal, is to show more of that. And I'm pretty hyped about it. So
I'm
um,
so hyped for it.
I think it's going to be fun. I really, really think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm sure we're going to screw some stuff up along the way. But the other thing I'm really hyped about is the amount of Subaru specific community members, the members themselves, not the companies, but the members themselves. One of my goals was to try to get people, community members involved with this, and they've all been really hyped. John, again, super hyped, but like, one of the people I want to bring to come do ice racing is Tanner Smedia. He's hyped about that. I just got to get him some dates. So I'm trying to figure out how the schedule and how the cookie's going to crumble to make that happen. But he's basically going to fly into Chicago, and I'm going to grab him on the way through, on the way to Wisconsin. We're going to co-drive the car. Like, I want him to rip and see a different side of Subarus. But again, big community member, big part of it. I know the Overtake guys were hyped about this too. IAG might be covering some of it also. We'll see how all that goes. I'm psyched. So it was a lot of the sponsors that were already working with Boogie. We're just kind of, we can combine it and the go faster suck stuff a little easier, and it doesn't have to be super brand specific. It's more like, if you guys like what we're trying to do, help out, and if you don't, I'm still going to do it anyway. So um I think the goal here, I think we can have a lot of fun as a community, and we can all learn some stuff as a community. And really, what I'm trying to do is dispel a bunch of fears of a lot of people who don't even know where to start. And this is all going to be beginner, I guess beginner oriented, but it's going to have I want to keep this beginner friendly as much as possible. That if you don't know how to do this stuff, hopefully this will teach you how. You will get enough information out of this to even know how to search for the type of event I'm talking about. So Serapin Wolf, will you convert the hubs so you can even find axles if they pop? Actually, yes, that is one of the things I am planning on doing, is going to 5x114 knuckles as soon as I can find them. Okay. So I need to find some 5x114 knuckles. Anybody out in the community, let me know. I'm looking for a whole host of random GD crap too. So if anybody's got some old shitbox GDs behind their house, I've got like a list of crap I need that I'm currently in the hunt for. Stupid stuff like radio brackets, like dumb stuff.
You're right.
I didn't check to see if it was male or female fronts. That's probably something I should have checked, but converting back and forth isn't that bad. If it's got stubs, you pull the stubs. If it, whatever, we'll figure it out. So, Safety Mike, is it getting a cage? I don't want a cage for street use, and this will be mostly used on the street. So no, it is not getting a cage. I want to be able to put my kid in the back. I don't plan on this being this is not a boogeyman replacement. This is not replacing Boogie. That's not what's going on here. This isn't even going to be used in any sort of serious competition. I don't plan on building this for a class of any sort. This is literally a vehicle built for enjoyment, and then we will shenanigans.
You say it's made for some basic shenanigans you can go out and do. It's at whim
to do all the things. This car should be pretty good at just about everything. One of the things I'm kind of excited to do is Devin, that I do heat exchanger with. He just got a big fancy BMW, and he's going to be doing some HPDE stuff. I'm hyped to maybe go do some HPDE stuff and see if I can even stay in the ballpark of that crazy BMW. And this car really doesn't need a lot. And I'm going to be real. We're on an unknown engine. I hope it lasts, but I don't have a lot of faith in that. We'll see. She piston slaps pretty hard when you first start her, but most built engines with some mileage on it do. And I think it's going to be a really good time. So Shenanimobile. I don't even know. I need it doesn't quite have a nickname yet, but I want to get a custom plate. It needs to be 5 letters. I might just get it. It might just say Dewey. I have that option, but I want some ideas of what we should put on the plate for this thing. So maybe leave that in the comments. That would be cool. Plate ideas. I have 5 letters or numbers I can use. I don't have to use all 5. But it is a maximum of 5 because I do want to get a Marine Corps plate for it. I'm not doing Do It. That's too close to my own last name. Duty. You guys are right. Fun. Damn it, Kim. I don't know. So this is a crazy thing. I've been doing Subarus forever. Okay. I got my 02 WRX in 02. You know what I mean? And this has been my career forever. Um, I haven't been this excited about a car and I don't know how long. I am so hyped
Yeah,
about this damn car. I was so hyped to let my wife drive the car. She's been driving it the past 2 days because the roads are still shit here and it's the only car with decent tires on it. So she's been tear-assing in
the
that.
only car you have that could rip out of it. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the only car in our driveway that can get out of our driveway. So,
Which is crazy because it's one of the lowest cars you have to the ground right now.
and it just does not care. So
And
she's
it
been
just
having
does not care.
a great time. She's been picking up people she works with because their cars can't get out of the driveway and stuff and carting them around and she's showing up in this frickin' World Rally Blue rocket ship thing and it's been entertaining. Um so no, I don't have cool guy tires on the truck yet. It's something that needs to happen. I kind of want to do a wheel tire combo on the truck, but I think I'm just going to do tires. Um but
Yeah, just put some good, like, bet
some
use case
some
tires on it that could do
yeah.
whatever.
I gotta be real, shitbox was definitely one that I thought about. Um,
Yeah,
the
I
thing
was thinking
is,
the same
like,
thing
man,
too.
I'm looking at all sorts of stuff. Like, like, I feel like I'm like it's 2005 again. And I'm looking through Nasiok stuff. I'm like, I want to find a set of UK 300s. Okay, because UK 300s on blue looks sick. So if you don't know what a UK 300 headlight is, go look them up. But it's basically the Pro Drive headlight. They're not Morettes. So if you think they're Morettes, they're not. They're different. I want to get a JDM grill. I think I want to get an S202 wing. And I kind of would like to find a V2 front lip. Like it's all the fuckboy shit that I wanted to do back in the day. Um, no, I'm not taking nasty, but yeah, I don't know. I see you guys putting all these ideas in the chat. I need you to put them in the comments on Spotify. Do me a solid.
Yeah, do it on Spotify.
Yeah, the S202 wing guy didn't pull through. He never even messaged me back. What a jerk.
Nope. We
So
were legitimately gonna go pick it up,
we were ready
like,
to go, dude.
on the way.
And he never even hit me back. I even shot him a higher offer than what I shot than my crazy low ball. But he sounded like he was motivated and then he just never looked at his messages. So well, screw that kid. Um So yeah, that was the epic road trip. And I now own a bug eye again. And I can't get away from these damn cars, but I gotta be real, I have not been this excited about a bug eye in a very long time. I'm really hyped. So um yeah. I hope you guys are excited because you're gonna hear a ton about it. I wanna do racing Subarus is only like a piece of what this community is. I got to be real. The majority of these people bought these cars because they can do everything. And that's kind of where this went is I want to do more stuff with this. Now I don't want Go Faster Suck to turn into just the Bug Eye channel. It's just going to be a part of it. We got some other ideas for that too, and we'll get into it. But
We're
um,
gonna cover more than just
there's going to be a
Subaru
lot
stuff, or
that's getting
even
covered. Yeah, it isn't just even going to be Subaru stuff. It's going to be all sorts of shit. But this
it's not even gonna be time attack necessarily.
yes, I mean we're going all over the place with that, but there'll be all sorts of crap on there too. So if you haven't subscribed to that too, I know I keep telling you guys to subscribe and like and comment and do all that, but we're getting there. And yeah, that's pretty much what's up. I'm just really excited. And I haven't been this excited about a car purchase and I don't know when. And I just had to share this. um that's not a bad idea, the GFOS plate. Um
Yeah, you should probably do that. Some good branding.
yeah, it's not a bad one. Maybe I'll do GFOS. All right. Well, we'll look into it. Again, guys, I can't thank you guys enough for following. And I told you I was going to be doing this. I knew I've been dropping hints. I'll get some actual pictures up of it here soon, but I got to be real. The biggest reason I don't have pictures up of it yet is like there's no good way to take a good picture of it right now. I want to wash it and whatever. We took a couple of cute pictures, but well,
Wait until I post the one video that we recorded before we even left.
oh,
The,
the one where it was was it after we got the
piece
car
of
wash
shit.
or the night?
No, it was literally in Alex's driveway. We
Oh
recorded, remember?
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
what do you want with this piece of shit?"
yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video is gonna be funny.
I'm gonna have that up. I'm gonna have it ready this week.
Oh,
Like,
nice. So we're talking like here in the next couple of days.
yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, watch for that. That one's gonna be funny. All right, guys. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun, and we're gonna continue to do fun Subaru stuff. So until then, we'll catch you guys next time.